I want to welcome everyone here today to the third in our series, and I see the local press is here too, so that's kind of nice. The third in our series called Science, Technology, and Us. In this series, for those who have not been here before, you are participating in a class of 10 students. They are juniors, seniors, sophomores, and freshmen, majoring in any and everything. And this is a 1-hour seminar course where we look at science, which has led to technological development, which is affecting us today and is going to make our lives better tomorrow. So science, technology, and us is the theme. In this program, we have 5 guests, and I began to call them e-lectures, and I'm changing that. Instead, after now going through the third, we're going to use the phrase e-visits. It's more like a visit because as you in the audience can see, Dr. Onaral is in one sense with us. She's visiting with us as opposed to a lecture which could be by videotape or CD or DVD. So this is more like a visit. And what we aimed to do and have definitely scored on today is to bring to our classroom in this university individuals who are truly at the top of their field in the world. The woman whom I'm about to have the pleasure of introducing to you, I will tell you, she has taught me so much. And I'm looking at her saying this. She embodies what it means to be a professor. She embodies what it means to be an internationalist. She embodies what it means to be a scientist and an engineer. She's also extremely creative. What Banu has brought, Dr. Onaral has brought to her institution, and in fact to literally thousands through her service in the profession, is a totally integrated view of biology and technology and business. A totally integrated view. And the center, the institute that she leads and has led since its founding, embodies and acts out that concept. Dr. Banu Onaral is the H.H. Sun Professor of Biomedical Engineering and Electrical Engineering at Drexel University in Philadelphia. She holds a PhD in Biomedical Engineering from the University of Pennsylvania, that smaller school across the street from Drexel, and a BSEE and an MSEE in Electrical Engineering from Boğaziçi University, Istanbul, Turkey. Did I say it right, Banu? For those who don't know Turkish, you might say Bosphorus University. Is that right, Banu?
Yes, that's correct.
Dr. Onaral joined the faculty in Electrical and Computer Engineering and in Biomedical Engineering and Science Institute in 1981. She's held 2 sabbatical leaves at Boğaziçi University, and she has served as the founding director of the School of Biomedical Engineering, Science, and Health Systems at Drexel University. I could go on and read the pages of accolades. Let me highlight a couple. She's led major research and development projects sponsored by the National Science Foundation, by the National Institutes of Health, the Office of Naval Research, DARPA, the Defense Advanced Projects Research Agency, and the Department of Homeland Security. She supervised, I would hate to have to guess how many students, hundreds of senior project students and graduate students. And she's the recipient of so many well-deserved awards. She was also, and let me read this so that I get this right, I believe it's in here. She was the president of the IEEE Engineering and Medicine and Biology Society, the largest member-based biomedical engineering society in the world. So she's run a big operation, in addition to being a great scientist. Let me say one more thing about her before let me give the title of her talk and then say one more thing. She will talk about near-infrared-based optical brain monitoring. In other words, how you look at the brain using near-infrared. And I want to ask my students, do any of you speak French? And Banu, you'll have to check my French here. But pied de terre, do you know what that means? Does anybody know what pied de terre means? See Banu grinning. Pied de terre is French for foot on the ground. It's also a term that some use and she uses for, your place. And my wife and I had the truly distinct pleasure of having breakfast with Banu in her pied de terre on the Bosphorus River in Istanbul, Turkey. And that morning, I will never forget. So, this is a little foot on the ground here in Lebanon, and we're glad to have you. And class, I give you Dr. Banu Onaral.
Thank you very much, Harvill. That was a very generous introduction, and I thank you very much for it. You've been a very good friend, and hopefully we will continue having such exchanges in the future and to build on our friendship. Today, what I'd like to talk to you about is the functional optical brain imaging technology that we're developing. And what I'd like to talk about first is why we need to examine the brain and why we need to look into the brain rather than judge what's happening in the brain from watching human beings' behavior.